जब जनता को ये मौका मिला कि CSGO Pros से वो कोई भी सवाल पूछ सके तो उन्होंने अपने सारे सवाल पूछ डाले और आज के इस एपिसोड में हम एक ऐसी वीडियो पे नजर डालेंगे जहां पे आपको आपके सवालों के जवाब मिल जाएंगे, वो भी स्ट्रेट फ्रॉम द प्रोज लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन। उसके बाद आगे बढ़ेंगे और एक इंटरव्यू की तरफ बढ़ेंगे जहां एक बार फिर से हमारे साथ एक और स्पेशल मेहमान जुड़ने जा रहे हैं और वो हमें अपनी ई-स्पोर्ट्स जर्नी बताएंगे। फिर इस एपिसोड को खत्म करेंगे विद सम एक्साइटिंग मीम्स। So without wasting any further time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Super Johnny and you guys are watching the World of Esports. आई थिंक इस बात पे सभी अग्री करेंगे दैट यू मी जितने भी CSGO के फैंस हैं सब ने प्रोस को अपने वेपन्स और अपने हथियारों से जवाब देते हुए एक दूसरे को तो काफी बार देखा है, लेकिन कभी हमने उन्हें फैंस के सवालों का जवाब देते हुए ज्यादातर नहीं देखा। तो जब ऐसा मौका फैंस को मिला कि वो प्रोस से कोई भी सवाल पूछ सके, काफी एक्साइटिंग इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चंस निकल के सामने और प्रोस ने उनके जवाब भी बहुत ही बेहतरीन तरीके से दिए। तो चलिए नजर डालते हैं हमारे इस पहले वीडियो के ऊपर।
Illuminati asked how I would recommend warming up a match, and what I do personally, I can only speak of that, is I do a little bit of aim bots just to kind of like get my reflexes going and feel like I'm a little warm. So I'll do like 10 minutes or like 1,000 bots equals around that, and after that I will do 200, 300, 400 kills in deathmatch, depending on when I feel like I'm warm, and that would take me anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes, something like that. So a total of probably like 45 minutes to an hour of warm-up before an official match. That's how I do it at least. HBS asked me what were the first impression I had when I joined Australis, and I had a great impression. I feel like I was taken, like had a warm welcome in the team, and a lot of fans wrote me, and a lot of Australis fans were very nice to me, I feel like, on social media, and also like when I met them out in the real life. And obviously when I came into the organization for the first time, there were a lot of people welcoming me as well in there. So I just had a great start in the team, I feel like, socially, yeah. Vaz asked how I feel about the roster for 2022, and despite some rough showings in the past, like we haven't really lived up to what we want, I still have high hopes for this team, and I still have very high ambitions. My goal is the same, never change. I still want to be on the best team in the world, and that's my goals for this year.
What's the best event you ever been to? Best event I've ever been to, I think that depends whether you look at the stage or if you look at how it's been just for the players to be at the event. I would say that E-League were really good with players, but also if you look at like the stages, I would say that Katowice and Cologne is something special. Obviously there is the major. That is the number one, but I would say Katowice and Cologne is the two most prestigious events that you can win apart from the major.
Throw it now, they're gonna go through that. Kerrigan will get the benefit of it blooming, and now that distracts, and out comes Rain again. Two this time, maybe a third as he goes to the USP. The damage was there, and he shocks his head as well. Wow, okay, Rain, welcome to the server. Welcome to the game, 7 kills.
Chadwick asked, how does your team overcome the issues with having players from different regions and countries? What has always worked for FaZe is just being open-minded and trying to focus on small, like, not as advanced communication, I think. I think in the team we have now, it's very clear with everybody speaks very good English and everything, but I think in past situations we faced, it's been a little bit rough at times. So it's always been like clear comms, and have to be very, the qualities have to be a little bit more minimalistic than what I think a national team has, you know. So I think that's the only problem we have, is communication sometimes gets a little bit out of hand. Question from Fitzy. What advice would you give to a team that is trying to go pro? I think What's very important nowadays is to either get into FPL or FPLC, especially if you're just a single player and when you want to become a professional. Other than that, if you're actually a full team, you have your guys playing, it's just sign up to every qualifier you can, and try to qualify to whatever you can that makes you go to HLTD, for example, and get some exposure, or get into like some sort of league where you get a little bit of exposure and you can eventually qualify further into the bigger leagues, right? So I think it's a lot easier to become a professional now, to become noticed, than what it is 5 years ago, for example. I think there's very many different routes, like FPL, and all the stuff you can take now. So I think just keep grinding. I think you can become pro eventually. Question from Sasu Van Berry. What do you do when you feel like you have plateaued? Personally, when I feel like I plateau, I need to take 1 or 2 days break to reflect a little bit. I like to actually rewatch old games, or also from new players as well, to get a sense of perspective of how the new meta is being played, how you have to play as an individual. And other than that, it's just trying to grind it out and play. And if you feel like you're at the plateau, I don't think it's good to grind like 140 hours for the past 2 weeks. Maybe for some players it'll be good, but I think for me personally, it'll just burn me out even quicker. So just try to get a vision of how to play the game in a different way.
Comes further forward before he's heard. He's not even aware of this. He's going to go for the bomb plant. Back exposed. Nico's low. Bluwin just clutched one back already in this game. Starts it off well. Nico's the one that killed Simple. Surely he has to be aware that he was up toward the position, and he certainly is. Calm, composed, and Bluwin will make it 12-12.
Yoshi asked how we keep performing under pressure. In our team we have 2 psychologists who are working with us, and it's like a real sport right now, because we're working like on mentality, psychologists, a lot of work on boot camp right now, like these 3 weeks for us. It was really hard because start of the season, after the vacation, and you can feel this pressure because after the previous results in the previous year, you should do your best right now at the start of the season, and you can't be like calm down, So we feel some pressure, but we're working on it and trying to think only about our game and how we do the next wins on the tournaments.
Made over the top is lovely. Oh, Liege eats a bullet. Nitro trying to cover from Con. Alexi, he can go back for the kit. He's picked it up. But a kill is Nitro's, and that's what we needed for Liquid to believe. A long way back.
All right, so Groove Rider is asking, what is my favorite thing about being in esports? My favorite thing is probably just feeding my competitive drive, because I feel like when I'm not playing tournaments, I'm just so bored of just like not doing anything. So coming back to Counter-Strike was like, that was one of the biggest things for me. Coming back to Counter-Strike was like just all the tournaments and stuff. Obviously the travel is like super intensive, but when I was in Valorant, like there was like not that many tournaments. Like there was like a tournament like every like 1 or 2 months. But in CS, like you're always looking for the next tournament, and I kind of like that. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about being in esports and just Counter-Strike in general, I'd say. So also Dunk is asking, what type of preparation do I put into matches, basically? And the main thing I like to do is I have like kind of steps I take when I prepare for teams, and I like to watch like, so for example, if I'm watching like a team on Inferno, I like to watch how they take banana. I like to watch how they move in the mid round, how they move in the late round. So I'll watch like a pretty good amount of demos on X team or Y team or whatever. And I kind of just go about that for every single map, I would say. And obviously like with the vetoes, I'll talk within my team and we'll discuss like what maps we think it'll be, what maps we think it'll be come down to. But ultimately, I think it's more about focusing on ourselves and making sure that we have all of our stuff down before we even like think about the other team, because we can see something from the other team, or I can see something from the other team and be like, oh, we could do this, but have we practiced that? Probably not. And that would just be more of an anti-strat. And I feel like that's kind of a sign of weakness, but ultimately if you find something that, you know, like a team is doing and you're like, oh, we could do this strat against them, and then the team is like, yeah, let's do it. Like that's super easy. So I try to be like clear cut and concise about like how I'm showing my team like how the other team is playing and stuff. So And then obviously my coach Adrian helps with a lot of the prep as well. So that's not just me for sure. And I think even during the Grand Slam run, like we all had our own ways of preparing for the match. Whether it's like just death matching more, you know, watching demos of how the other person on the team is playing against you during a default. There's just like a bunch of different things that you could do for prep. So those are my main ways for preparing.
Bot767 asked, what does it take to become a professional player? And the answer to that one is play a lot and get people around you that you like and enjoy playing with.
Modesty on catwalk finds the timing. 8 seconds. If he can drop the bomb, it'd be everything. But it travels into the site. 1-on-2 for Modesty now. It's sacrificial. Gives his position away. He wants Modesty's hand gone. But this man, oh, the Shepherd staff takes down the GOAT, and he takes Simple out of the round to give it to G2.
Facebook asked me, how do you feel to play in an international team? I'm feeling interesting. This is really amazing to play in an international team. It's something new for me, experience. They're all good players, they're all the best players. They did final majors as well, and I'm getting enjoy from it. Getting something new every day. CSGO Hub is the best map I've ever played. Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
और लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन एक एक्साइटिंग अपडेट ये निकल के सामने है कि PUBG मोबाइल ई स्पोर्ट्स ने 2022 के लिए सोनी एक्सपीरिया के फ्लैगशिप फोन्स को अपना ऑफिशियल फोन डिक्लेयर कर दिया है। सोनी एक्सपीरिया PUBG मोबाइल के ग्लोबल टूर्नामेंट्स का ऑफिशियल स्मार्टफोन बन चुका है और सोनी दुनिया भर में प्लेयर्स को फोन प्रोवाइड करेगी फॉर द अपकमिंग इवेंट्स। सोनी ने प्लेयर्स के रिक्वायरमेंट्स को मीट करने के लिए काफी बढ़िया फोन्स लॉन्च किए हैं, जिनमें 120 हर्ट्ज का रिफ्रेश रेट रहेगा और 240 हर्ट्ज का टच सैंपलिंग रेट होगा। अब ये देखने वाली बात रहेगी कि फोन से क्या चमत्कारी गेम प्ले हमारे प्लेयर्स दिखा पाते हैं। और सबकी चाहिए गेम GTA के डेवलपर रॉकस्टार ने रिसेंटली ये खुलासा किया कि वो एक सब्सक्रिप्शन प्लान निकालने वाले हैं जिसका नाम GTA Plus रहेगा। GTA Plus बहुत सारे फैसिलिटीज प्लेयर्स को ऑफर करेगा एट जस्ट $5.99 अ मंथ। इन पर्क्स में से एक रहेगा GTA के अंदर $500,000 का कैश, जिसको प्लेयर्स लॉस सैंटोस के अराउंड अपनी प्रॉपर्टीज को बिल्ड करने के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं। और चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते हैं हमारे इंटरव्यू की तरफ, जहां मैंने पहले बताया आपको कि एक और स्पेशल पर्सनालिटी हमें बताएंगे अपनी ई स्पोर्ट्स जर्नी के बारे में। ऑलराइटी लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, तो इस बार एक बार फिर से eISL की दुनिया से हमारे स्पेशल जो सेलिब्रिटी हैं आज के हमारे साथ जुड़ने जा रहे हैं इंटरव्यू के लिए। सो प्लीज पुट योर हैंड्स टुगेदर फॉर इमाद रिप्रेजेंटिंग नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूनाइटेड। इमाद, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वेलकम टू द शो। हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
आई एम डूइंग वेल, हाउ आर यू गाइस?
I'm doing pretty good as well, Imad. Thank you so much for asking. मेरे इंटरव्यू का कॉन्सेप्ट मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। It's pretty standard. मैं लोगों की ई स्पोर्ट्स की जर्नी जानना चाहता हूँ। I want to know कि कैसे वो स्पार्क जगी competitive player बनने की। तो मेरे को अपनी जर्नी के बारे में बताया, like how did you get into video games?
I think 3 years ago, my friends and I used to like play FIFA together, and it was just casual, you know, like late nights we used to play FIFA. But then this tournament started coming up in Bangalore, and like we wanted to see how our level was. My friends were way better than me at that time, so I used to get knocked out in the first rounds early on. So, but I don't know why, there was some excitement, you know, that thrill going for these tournaments. I used to get very nervous. My legs used to start shaking, hands used to start shaking. But yeah, I used to go for these tournaments. Even though I used to get knocked out in the first round, I still kept on going. A few months down the line, it was a school tournament, and I got 3rd place in that. Even though I did win, I was very proud because the improvement I had, even my friends were shocked. And yeah.
I mean, so that's an interesting start to a journey, because most of the people I've talked to right now have just started playing at home, but you straight up dived into LAN events and just grinded it out the hardcore way, like the hardest way it could have been possible, just doing LANs. But I'm pretty sure like the experience that you gained has helped you now. Do you still get nervous, or are you like much more calm in the competition at eISL?
I don't think I get nervous anymore, which is a shocking thing for me as well. Before the game, like a day before, I get nervous. I feel very sick. But just before the match, it's all calm. I'm like listening to music, like vibing to my music. That's it.
All right, so Imad, one more thing that's quite interesting is the fact that 3 years is not that long ago. I mean, you just basically recently started playing FIFA, and since then, now the dive into the competitive scene to the biggest stage Indian FIFA has ever seen. How did you improve so quickly? Like, was there a particular method that you followed, or was it just like you figuring stuff out for yourself?
I think it was my own method because I didn't watch football before I started playing FIFA because I was a major cricket fan. And when I started watching football and started supporting my favorite club, Barcelona, I tried to recreate the same moments, play the same way, and yeah, that kind of helped me because it made me understand the game a little bit quicker, and because I tried to implement it ASAP, like how they actually played. Yeah, like nothing, game changing, but it helped me a lot.
I mean, just watching an actual game and trying to replicate the same stuff in game. That actually sounds like a very good advice to someone who is trying to improve their FIFA skills at home and trying to hone their skills and make it to maybe the next eISL. So you guys sitting at home, you have a practice routine now, apparently. Just watch your favorite team, try and do the same stuff in game. But Imad, so as you mentioned earlier, your friends were better than you when they started. Do you just send them random pictures of your jersey now?
Oh, I'm posting them all on Instagram, and they still support me, which is surprising, even though we've been distant, like school friends these are.
Yeah.
So not many have been along in my journey, but yeah, they still support me, which is nice.
I mean, it's friends are always going to be friends, right? I mean, whether they beat you, you beat them, don't talk to each other for a few years. Still, I mean, the connection is always going to be there. But was there someone special that you met along the way in your journey that has always stuck around?
Yeah, I have 3-4 friends who've always stuck around me. They always think, I'm really good at, FIFA, and they always supported me, like, play this tournament. Why haven't you played this tournament? If I can take their names, Raghav, Vikrant, and my friend Hari. These guys have stuck around me for a very long time, and they're still supporting me, even though we didn't get the top 4.
I mean, it's okay, man. Friends are always going to be there to cheer you up, and not like top 4 might not be the thing this time, but maybe in the next season you qualify again, different circumstances, you have a lot more experience under your belt, grinding it out for 4 months, so maybe the next time you make it to the top 4, or maybe even the trophy, who knows. But again, was these friends that informed you about eISL, or like did you know about eISL from someplace else?
eISL, actually, I didn't know anything about it. One other friend of mine told, like, there's a tournament happening.
Yeah.
Like, I still didn't know that there was going to be a bubble happening. I just knew that eISL and Nordwin were part of this. So I was like, okay, so let me, try for this. Next thing you know, I missed out on some qualifiers because I was asleep. Woke up for the Northeast one, and yeah, first try got into it.
I like that you're honest about the fact, yeah, I missed out on a qualifier because I was sleeping. Rest is important, by the way, guys. You need to be well rested. But what about your family? What was their reaction when you told them, like, yeah, I'm going to be going away for 4 months, but hey, there's a lot of money involved in this?
For me, the reaction was actually surreal because, like, I didn't expect it to win because last game I played was very intense, and, like, I didn't think I would get the win because I thought he was a very good player. But I told my mom about this. My dad was asleep at that time because it was like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I told her with hesitations because I didn't want to get my hopes up high, even though they supported me along the way. I thought I wouldn't go because of my college and everything. And like my career, I had to go forward with it.
Yeah.
And 4 months was a very long time to stay in a bubble. But my mom was fully supporting me. My dad was excited. He's like, book the tickets right now, go right now. So I was surprised by the reaction, but it was good.
I mean, that is definitely going to be quite surprising if your parents are just like, yeah, here's the ticket, go and have fun for 4 months. Yeah, college will just take care of it when you get back. No one expect that, especially I mean, you would agree with me on this. A scene like FIFA has only grown and come to mainstream spotlight in the last few years, in the last 2 years in particular. Before that, the scene was like very small LANs happening, not enough prize pool. At that time, since you started going to LANs quite early on in the scene, did you expect something this major to happen, or was it just the love for the game that made you go to LANs?
I didn't expect it to go at this level, to be very honest. With the growth of esports going very slow, at least few years back, I didn't expect it to go this high. But over the years, in the last 2 years, it's picked up very well, and I'm hoping for more bigger opportunities to come by.
I mean, the opportunities are just going to keep on coming, buddy. Because, I mean, with how the eISL has fared up, I believe we're just getting started, and there's going to be a lot more opportunities for FIFA athletes. But along with that, I want to know, like, your memories. What is going to be the best memory that you have made for yourself in the last 4 months?
I think the best memory is just hanging around with 22 of the best FIFA players. Not even talking about FIFA, just hanging around with them, watching the games, watching Champions League football. These memories, they're very special, to be honest. And I actually want to stay for a little bit longer, but we all have to go home. The rest.
Yeah, I mean that has to be an unfortunate part about every single journey, that it does come to an end sometime, some a little bit earlier than the others. But hey, next season, as I said, hopefully you make it this far again, and we're gonna see you and your buddies together in the next eISL whenever it happens. But so far, I mean, again, one more question. So, as you mentioned, I mean, you were pretty focused on your practice earlier on, and now since you are with some of the best players in the country, has your practice regimen changed, or now do you just ask someone to just play with you a few friendlies and that's what you call practice?
No, I think my practice overall has, like, the schedule I do and the routines I do has changed over the couple of 3 months. Like, it started with just playing like 1 or 2 friendlies, but like I think I need to play way more. I need to improve on my like training stuff, because I don't think I work as hard as some of the players do, and that's why I feel like I missed out on the top 4, because I didn't work as hard as the others. But yeah, these things I think I have to learn along the way.
I think, again, you are pretty fresh into the scene. 3 years, again, is very new, so I would call you a prodigy at this point, just making it this far. Like, the best players are present along with you, and I think you yourself are amongst the top 22 in the whole country now, which is a pretty massive achievement to be in anything. So congratulations on that. But one more thing, Imad, I want to know from you is a message for your friends that you mentioned earlier, a message for your family that have been so supportive with your journey in the eISL. Do you have a message for them?
I think I have to give I want to thank my parents and my family members who've been supporting me since day one. They've been calling me every day to see how I am. I think this is the first time I've gone alone somewhere to a place, for a long time. And yeah, thank you for supporting me. And like, I'm really sorry I couldn't get the top 4. I think top 4 was something which I really wanted, and like I couldn't give it to them. Hopefully next time I can make them proud.
I mean, hopefully next time we either win or we learn. That's what I like to say. I mean, there is no losing in anything. You learn from your experience. And Imad, I believe your experience in the eISL is going to help you grow to a very, very deadly player in the next season. And thank you so much for joining us for this interview right now. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. और अब बारी हो चुकी है हमारे मीम्स की, और कहीं ना कहीं इन मीम्स में काफी सच्चाई भी छुपी है, जैसे कि ये। एंड आई थिंक आप भी इस बात से एग्री करेंगे कि ये हम सबका रिएक्शन होता है वीकेंड्स के ऊपर। और अब मैं आप लोगों से एक डिसीजन चाहता हूं। ये दो आपके ऑप्शंस हैं और आप हमें बताइए कि आप किसको पिक करते हैं। डू टैग अस ऑन आवर सोशल हैंडल्स एज वेल। तो आज के लिए बस इतना ही। मैं आप लोगों से फिर मिलूंगा हमारे अगले एपिसोड में। अगेन लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, अगर अभी तक आप लोगों ने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किए, सब्सक्राइब टू नॉट वन गेमिंग्स यूट्यूब चैनल, हिट द बेल आइकॉन एंड डू लाइक एंड शेयर दिस वीडियो एज वेल। Until next time, take care. Bye bye.